day 12 series of challenge. So today we'll be learning SQL for AI model training. So the goal of today's lecture is to prepare data in SQL for AI models by cleaning, transforming and feature engineering. So by today's lecture, we will be able to understand feature engineering and its importance, perform data cleaning to remove inconsistency, use aggregation and transformations for AI ready data, handle missing data and outliners in SQL, normalize and standardize data for ML models. So if you have to begin with part one of today's lecture, that is feature engineering. So the question arises, why is it crucial for AI? So what exactly is feature engineering? Feature engineering is the process of creating new useful features for raw data to improve AI model accuracy. So for example, if we have date of birth, we have to convert it to age for the AI models to run perfectly. So if I have to show you with an example, I've already created few tables here. So let me just show you one after the other. That is the customer table, which has ID, name, DOB, email. And now we'll have transactions table, which will contain all the transaction IDs, customer IDs, and amount, where one of the IDs, that is customer ID, is a foreign key linked to our customers table. So if I have to show you employees table, then this here is the employees table. So here you have employee ID, name, and salary. So these are the primary tables that we'll be using for this lecture. So if you have to understand feature engineering, that is converting DOB to the age, then what we'll be doing is use VBAI and say select name, comma, year, current date. That will give us the current date minus year DOB as age from customers. So now if I run this, here you can see that name and the age of the people present and their corresponding age will be displayed. So what this does is we will select name, and here is the interesting part, that is year of current date. So today's date is 22nd of March 2025 minus the year DOB. We will select only the year from the DOB as age column, that is the new column that we'll be having from customers. So customers is the table. So this here helps us understand feature engineering. So now if you have to come to part two, that is data cleaning, here we'll be removing errors and inconsistency. So common data issues that what we face in day-to-day lives are duplicates, incorrect formats, or missing values. So now I'll show you a simple example to remove duplicates. So if I have to remove duplicates, what I'll do is I'll use the customers table and find each customer ID, and what I'll do is I'll remove their common email that is present. So if I have to do that, then what I'll do is I'll just say delete from customers where ID not in, select min ID from customers group by email. So now if I run this, so this here will give us a error telling that you can't specify table target customers. The reason is we are taking the values from customers and trying to update the customer itself. So this will give us an error. So to solve this, what we can use is the basic join function that we have learned in the previous lectures. So what we'll be doing is just removing this delete function and just put delete C1 from customers C1, join customers C2. That is, we'll be joining two customers C1 and C2, that is temporary tables, on C1.email equal to C2.email, where both the emails should be same, where C1.id is greater than C2.id. So this states the id should be greater and not equal. So if we run this, it still gives us an error telling you are in a safe update mode. So if you would have seen the previous lectures, we can set the safe update to 0 and ensure we do the right updates. So to put safe SQL safe updates as 0, which means that this will allow us to update the table. So if I run this, it still gives us an error telling that cannot delete update a parent row, a foreign key constraint. The error that is coming up in this solution or the problem is that this is referred as a foreign key to an outside table. So if we delete any values present in this table, then that will affect that table as well. So hence we would have to drop the idea of deleting or data cleaning from this table. But the format will remain same, where we'll delete one value from the other if it is same, ensuring that we have data redundancy is reduced. So now let's go to the next model, that is aggregate and transform functions. So what exactly is aggregation? Aggregation is combining data to find trends. So calculating total sales per customer from the table that we already have. What I do is just put select id comma sum of amount plus total AMT from customers, where, or let's say, group by customer ID. So if I run this, it gives us an error that is amount. So instead of amount, what I can do is just use a different table, that is transactions, and here I'll do customer underscore ID. If I run this, this gives us an error telling that ID in field list is not available. So here I'll just put customer ID and then rerun this. So here it will give us the value telling that customer 1 has spent 250, customer 2 has spent 203, 126, 4, 120, and 5, 300. So if I just show you, select star from customers and run this, here you can see that people who have spent are the names of people, and to find out how much they have spent, actually we'll run transactions. So if I run this, here you can see that transaction ID, customer ID, transaction ID, customer ID is 150. So this, in the previous sum, it will add these both and give us the result values. So this will update or give us accurate results of grouping multiple things into one value and help us solve things faster. So now if I go to handling missing data and outliners in SQL, so to replace missing values with average or default values, what we can do is update salary to an average salary present. So use BBAI, and now let's update employee, where, or let's set salary equal to select average salary from employee where salary is null. So now if I run this, this again is giving us errors. The reason it is giving us errors is we are taking employees and updating the same table. So while doing this, we might find few errors due to which we're not able to run our code. So now here I've changed the complete code telling let's create a temporary table called temporary average salary, and inside this temporary average salary I'll be selecting average of salary as average salary from employees, update employees table, select salary equal to select average salary from temp average salary where salary is null, and then we'll drop the temporary table. If I run this, this will give us that it created a temporary table, updated salary, and then dropped the table. So if I want to see what exactly has happened, let me just remove this and say select star from employees. So if I run this, here you can see few values had empty sets present in them. After running our previous code, this has been updated. So this was all about handling missing values and outliners. So if I go to the final fifth part, that is normalization and standardization. So in normalization, what exactly happens is that we will scale the data between 0 and 1 to get the best value or the output. So to do that, what I'll do is just use the same employees table. I'll just say select salary minus min of salary divided by max of salary minus min of salary as, let's say, norm salary from employee. So if I run this, it gives me an error telling that it has done without any group by. So what exactly is the error? I'll give you 3 seconds to solve that. So the error that had occurred was we had not created anything as group by. So if I run this, then you can see that the highest salary is rated as 1 and the lowest salary is rated as 0. So here you can see the variations that has been present, and this normalization actually gives us the value only between 0 to 1 and ensures that it will help us to create AI models for neural networkings. And then we have standardization that helps us converting to Z scores, which can be used for models like SVM and regression. So in standardized salary or standardization, what it does is it creates a standardization value that AI models can take the scale data for optimal performances. So if I remove this and say salary minus select salary average from employees minus selects the standard deviation from employees as standard salary. So the standardized salary is another column that you'll be creating. So if I run this, here you can see that the average will be marked as 0 and anything lesser will be given negative values and anything greater will be given positive values. It will be considered like a standard deviation or standardization where the center value will have 0, anything right to it as positive and left to it as negative. So this was all about today's lecture, and we have an interesting object or challenge for the day, that is AI feature engineering. You have to extract useful information like total spending, purchase frequency, age group, handle missing values and outliners, normalize data for AI training. So this will be our challenge of the day and end of day 12 of this series. Thank you all. Subscribe.